The Sean Hannity Show podcast.
All right, thanks, Scott Shannon. Glad you're with us. Sean Hannity Show, 800-941-SEAN is our number if you want to be a part of the program. Anyway, so WashingtonPost.com headline, Shiloh Baptist Church receives threats after comments from Sean Hannity. And it goes on, Shiloh Baptist Church in the district said it received threatening phone calls and emails after an Easter visit from President Obama and conservative television commentators' subsequent playing of a videotape in which the pastor said that those espousing racial prejudice do so under the protective cover of talk radio. The Reverend Wallace Charles Smith said the church has received more than 100 threats since Fox News Channel Sean Hannity aired a tape Monday of a speech that Smith gave in January 2010 at an Eastern University conference in Pennsylvania. We received a fax that had the imagery of a monkey with the target across its face. He said, my secretary has received telephone calls that have been so vulgar until she had to hang up. Smith, who shared several of the emails with the Post, said that he had not notified authorities, but is consulting with church leaders about what to do. On Sunday, Obama and the First Family visited the church founded in 1860s by former slaves, and on Monday, Hannity aired a clip of the speech that Smith gave when he served as the president of the Palmer Theological Seminary in Philly. And this is in part what he said. Now, these were comments in January of 2010 that the pastor made in attacking Fox and talk radio.
When you look at what's going on, it may not be Jim Crow anymore. Now Jim Crow wears blue pinstripes, goes to the law school and carries fancy briefs and cases. And now Jim Crow has become James Crow Esquire. And he doesn't have to wear white robes anymore because now he can wear the protective cover of talk radio or can get a regular news program on Fox. The Ku Klux Klan began wearing these white robes because it came out of this sense that black people are afraid of ghosts. Well, we no longer have to wear white robes because now the racism and the vitriol has taken on a politeness. And even such venerable saints as Rush Limbaugh know the lines that they are not to cross. But any of their constituency can hear clear the same vile filth spewing forth in their statements that was once the purview of Robert Shelton and members of the Ku Klux Klan and the White Citizens Council. The problem is not solved yet. Jeremiah Wright never said anything that was wrong. Amen. What he said was that America owes some dues for its racist and its sexist and its classicist background.
He said Reverend Wright never said anything wrong. GD America, America's chickens have come home to roost, the U.S. KKK of A, all these things that we all know about. Now, I am going to my criticism. I'm going to offer, because he's apparently saying publicly he's consulting with church leaders. Pastor, I would recommend that whoever and anybody that says anything incendiary to any member of your church, sends any incendiary or racist facts, I would immediately, or any types of threats to anybody in your church, it is every single American has the right to safety and security. And even though we may disagree politically, I would urge you to get as much help from law enforcement as possible and find the people that are offering these threats, and I think they should be arrested. Just because we have a political disagreement does not mean that Sean Hannity does this, and I resent the headline in the Washington Post, as I really did not appreciate your incendiary comments, Pastor, because over the years I, too, have received many threats because of things that people have said about me. Dr. Lamont Hill is with us, Columbia professor and a host of Our World with Black Enterprise, and the Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson, founder of the group Bond, Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. Guys, welcome back to the program.
Good to be here.
Thank you, Sean.
Well, I mean, Dr. Hill, first of all, you'd agree with me that we could have a disagreement on the things that he said, and just like he said outrageous things about me and Fox and Talk Radio and Rush, you know what? People take those things to heart. And I wouldn't blame him for some of the threats that come my way.
No, I think you can't. Well, there's two things there. On the one hand, surely we can have a disagreement without blaming each other or demonizing each other. But we do have to be responsible for our comments. I'm sure that all of us at some moment have said things that have sparked a response that we wish we didn't have. I don't know enough about the details of the threats he got, but it is possible, Sean, that you could have said something that sparked.
There was nothing. I would think what he found offense to is the fact that I actually played his words, his tapes of him in his own words, in raising the question about whether or not, with all the churches in Washington, D.C., why would the president go to this church?
Yeah, and I think that's an unfair question. I think it's an unreasonable question.
What's unreasonable about it? He's the president of the United States.
I don't think it's incendiary, but I think it's an unreasonable question to ask because it's disingenuous. It suggests, for example, that Barack Obama is making a choice that other people haven't made, other U.S. presidents. You know, before they were mad that he didn't go to church enough. Now they're mad that he goes to the wrong churches. I mean, at some point, you know, we have to talk about real issues and not where this man.
Well, to me, the issue, this president was supposed to bring this country together along racial lines. I mean, he said he would, and I think when you hang out with racially divisive figures, I think you agree with me, Reverend Wright is racially divisive, don't you?
At this point, he's one of the most divisive figures in America.
Okay, and so
I don't think that's his fault, but I think he is.
You don't think it's fault? You don't think, America's chickens have come home to roost after 9/11, the Sunday after 9/11, 3,000 people killed is a little over the top?
I think those comments were made, and then he was part of Obama's sort of team, you know.
Well, he sat in his pews for 20 years.
No, that's not the part I'm saying. I'm saying he became a divisive figure, Sean, really once the primary and really the general elections came, when people like you
people
made
like
it a public
me.
issue. Yeah,
well, like I think it is an issue. I mean, just like Bill Ayers was an issue, just like Cass Sunstein and Anita Dunn and Van Jones and
Are you
Kevin
willing
Jennings.
to lump this pastor in with those people?